Hey everybody, Zach here at etrailer.com. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Brophy U-Bolt Stabilizer. This is going to be an anti-rattle device. What it does is it takes all that shake and play, all that movement out of your accessory. I think it personally shines best with cargo carriers. Cargo carriers are a great way to get a bunch of extra stuff on your trip, but one thing they have an issue with is when you get that weight back there, they're not the most stable thing. So they're moving around. They're going to hold your stuff just fine, but you can hear that movement, you can see it. It's just a little unnerving. So what this does is this takes a standard cargo carrier like we have here. I have a couple 100 pounds back here, and it just makes it a nice stiff ride. Now you can see right there, I'm lifting up and I'm not getting much play. When this isn't in place, this cargo carrier moves all around. Now the one thing with this style is it doesn't really take out all the side to side. Now it's shifting a little bit there, but it's tightened down where it's holding it in place for the most part. I think that's where the threaded hitch pin style works best. Those do a really good job of keeping the side to side movement down, but I would rather take out that up and down movement personally, because this still does a good job of keeping that side to side play at a minimum. So you can see this is a pretty simple design. It's essentially a steel plate that sits on top, and then we have a U-bolt that comes up underneath. And what this does is this sandwiches our accessory into our hitch. So it holds it all together, gives us a nice tight fit. It's pretty easy to put on. It can sometimes be a little difficult when it comes to clearance, because you do have to tighten down these nuts, and that's where I think the hitch pin style, where it's just like a threaded bolt that goes through, that can be a little bit easier, because usually you have a little bit more clearance down here to work with. But I think this is a really effective way to take all that play out of our accessory. Another thing to keep in mind if you do like that bolt style is you have to have a hollow shank accessory. So you can see here there's nothing in the shank of this ball mount, so we can put that device on the inside and put that bolt through. A lot of accessories are solid, so you can't put anything in there, and that's where this U-bolt design works. And the cool thing about the U-bolt style is it works with both styles, whether it's a hollow shank or solid steel. It doesn't matter. As long as there's nothing to interfere where you're attaching that to, it will work. So you could, in theory, use both to eliminate the side-to-side and the up and down. But I think that this one does a really good job of definitely eliminating the up and down, but I think it does a pretty good job of cutting out that side-to-side action as well. And to cut down on rust and corrosion, it has a black powder coat finish on it to keep that at bay, and then you also have that galvanized U-bolt as well. So to get this installed, the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to lay my top bracket like this. So the part that's pointing down needs to be touching the accessory, and then I'm going to take this U-bolt and I'm going to go up from underneath my hitch and get that lined up with the holes in that plate. And then I'm going to take my lock nuts and get those started, so that we can take a 14mm wrench and we can start tightening this down. I think that if you have the ability to use a socket wrench, you should go that route. I don't have the clearance here because of this bumper, so I'm just going to be using a wrench. It's going to take a little bit of time, but it's definitely going to be worth it when we get this tightened down. You can see we're starting to get that where it's not moving around, getting a nice tight fit. I don't think you need to really be super aggressive with getting this tightened down, but you definitely want it tight so you eliminate that movement in your shank there. Overall, I'm pretty impressed by this. Now, this isn't going to take away all of the movement and all the shake and play, but just here on this cargo carrier today, it reduced it dramatically. It takes a good amount of effort to get that to move around up and down. Now there is still a little bit of side to side, but it's not near as noisy. It takes quite a bit more effort to get that to move around. So I think this is a really good way to go if you're looking to cut down some of that noise and movement. But that's going to do it for our look at the Brophy U-Bolt Stabilizer.